Good morning. Today we are outside of the sewing corner and going on an adventure. There is a bridal shop just around the corner that is having a fabric sale with all their laces and silks and some remnants and stuff that they've advertised for very good prices. So we're here to have a look. I've no idea if they have much. The sale's been on for about an hour now. Hopefully I'm not too late and they have plenty of stock that I can rummage through. But let's go see what we can find. That was incredibly successful, and I'll go home and show you what I got, and I'm really excited. Okay, I am back after the adventures of this morning, and I have to say I think they were very, very successful adventures. The studio was beautiful. I mean, is there a wedding studio that is not beautiful? Like, it's gowns and it's lace and all the beautiful things, so I could have spent all day in that place. There wasn't like a whole lot of stuff that they were selling out because, you know, it wasn't a fabric store, it's a bridal salon, I guess. What they called that? Wedding gown shop that was just clearing out some of their excess stock. But even so, there was still some beautiful fabrics that they were just trying to get rid of. They had a couple of tables. The first table was the silks and the second table was laces, and the third table I think was more fancier laces. And then they had some buckets of like lucky dip items, or, you know, offcuts for $5 or a certain amount, you know. So there was a fair bit to look through. But the first thing that kind of caught my eye as soon as I walked in was this beautiful blue silk. Can't really see it on camera, it's just coming up as a roll of white. But I'll try and get it in the sun in a minute, and it's stunning. A lot of the stuff there, because it's a wedding shop, was white or ivory or cream or blush pink, but this is a pastel blue, and it really stood out because of that, and one of my favorite colors, so I just went, I want it. And this was $10 a meter, I think, and I was debating on how much to get, and then I went, you know what, it's beautiful. I could make an absolute stunner of a gown out of this, which means I need a lot. So I'll just take the whole roll, and there was 11 meters on it. So I think for 100% pure Dupioni, I believe it was silk. Yeah, slubbed Dupion. I thought that was a pretty good bargain because silk is expensive. On the sort of chiffony lace table, there was this one, which again, can't really see while I'm holding it up. I'll put some close-ups in. This is just plain white, but it's got little diamantes glued onto it, which just sparkle, and I thought it could be beautiful as an overlay for the silk, or stand alone as a sort of magical cape kind of garment. So those were sort of my main fabric purchases. And then I have another bag. These came from their sort of rummage pile. There's a whole little tiny little buttons, which were $5 for however many there is in there. There's quite a few. And then broken diamante chain. So I assume at one point this was a belt, but it's lost its ends, but that's fine. I can sew it onto something and it will be beautiful. And so that was all I had, and I was ready to leave and not look at any more beautiful things. And then the lady who owns this business brought out another bucket of things that she was going to go through to put in these rummage piles, and they had the most glorious belts in there. So I might just show these close up because it will be a lot easier, but they are stunning. And I think most of these she gave me for $10 each, and normally these go for $100 to $200. Like, wedding belts are not cheap. Anything wedding is not cheap. Oh, there's a similar one. So she said because most of these are a little bit tarnished. The glue on some has gone yellow. Oh, this one is probably one of my favorites. It's just the leaf designs, it's just stunning. So yes, the glue's gone a bit yellow or come away, and some of them have tarnished a little bit because, you know, she's had them in storage for a while. So she said those ones she would do me for $10 each. And look, I think they're beautiful. No one is going to be looking close enough to see that they're a little bit tarnished. So what was that, four of them? And I've no idea what I'm going to do with them yet, but they're beautiful. And then, as if that wasn't enough, just as I was about to leave, I was like, all right, walk away from the belts. That's enough. She was like, oh, and on your way out, feel free to grab one of the bags that are just sitting in the hallway. They're for anyone to take if they want some scraps to play with, to experiment with. And I could not turn that down. So now, I have this big bag of scraps, which looking at it, there's some decent sized pieces in there. It's not all scraps. So I'm keen to have a look through that, because obviously I couldn't like dig out through the scrap bag while I was there. I was just like, ooh, there's a white one, there's a white one. Ooh, that one's got a bit of colors in the scraps. I'll take the colors. So I think I'm going to have a quick rummage through this and pull out some really cool stuff. All right, let's have a dig in this scrap bag. Oh, see, now that's a decent sized piece, and it's a nice sturdy, I don't know, is that like a cotton something? Like that would be great for corsets, like the base layer of a corset. It's got some good body to it, nice neutral color. I've been thinking for a while now that I need to create some plain corsets to sort of go under outfits, because I've got one that's peacock printed and I've got a blue velvet one in the works, but they're not exactly practical. That's embroidered. You could, even if there wasn't enough of the rest of it to sort of pattern match anything, even just cutting out that and using it maybe on the corset. No wait, I want a plain one. I want a plain one. Don't get overboard. Nice silky, more silky. Oh, there's some more of that. I don't know if it is cotton, but it's nice solid weave. That another corset, there we are. Ooh. Oh, that's nice. And there's a lot of that. Oh, it's come off the bottom of a skirt by the look of it. There's a seam there. But hey, plenty of it to make something out of. So there are some bits in here that are less useful, but there's, for a free bag of scraps that they just offered me, I am very impressed. Oh, that's nice. Oh, I like the blue flower. Ooh, there's a decent amount of that in there. I could almost get a shirt out of that one. Oh, there's a tag. Wait. there's a whole veil in here. And it's still got its little claspy things and a tag. There's a whole veil. Okay, I have to try this on. Stand by for that. And more of the same. Again, beautiful for corsets. It's that heavier fabric. Okay, if you haven't sensed the theme, there's going to be a lot of corset making in my life coming up. Okay, we're getting to the bottom. The rest seems to be just little pieces. Ooh, that's a beautiful color. Sort of a lilac-y lavender. What's the difference between lilac and lavender? And there we are, some little pinked pieces in the bottom and the end. So I'm very impressed by this scrap bag. This veil is huge. It's floor length and it's perfect. Well, it is, the comb is broken, so it's only half in, but it's easy enough to replace that if I ever wanted a veil for anything. So that was my fun little trip this morning. If you have any ideas of what to make with 11 meters of silk, let me know, because I'm going to be overthinking this and terrified to cut into this fabric for the longest time, but I will do it eventually. That's all for today's video. Be sure to check back soon for the next one, and I will catch you then.